morning.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome to New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Can you describe some of your policies that you would implement to address the opioid crisis that we're struggling with here in New Hampshire and across the country?
Yeah. So, FBI guy, I chased gangsters in Chicago, and they were in the drug trade at that time. And I never, as a young 26-year-old FBI agent who was going to save the world, right, and grab every bad guy, it shocked me that we would find new heroin shipments coming into the city because you'd find more heroin junkies dead that particular weekend. That's how they test the strength this was back in the 80s. And I thought, man, we have a huge problem. It has exploded, this problem. Now, I have several ways we need to deal with it. We need to deal with it on the consumption side in America, which I think is a lot to do with the mental health issues you see across America. People are self-medicating in a way that we've never seen before. We're going to have to deal with that problem, and I have some suggestions. But one of the ways we can do this, as an old FBI guy and as an intelligence guy, a guy that served in the Army, we can dismantle distribution networks. We're going to need to be more aggressive than we are today, but we know how to do this. Remember Al-Qaeda distribution networks for guns and money and other things, and boy, did we put the hurt on them? My argument is we need to put the hurt on them and let them understand the worst place in the world to be is trying to get opioids into the United States. You're not going to last very long. There'll be no pension plan for you in that business. I think we have to be that aggressive. I've never seen anything so ravaging in a community as this. And I talked to somebody here in the building that just lost a stepdaughter not that long ago on an overdose of opioids. I know somebody personally of their family who died in an opioid epidemic. By the way, he was a police officer. There's no family that isn't touched by this. And then, if I can, on the mental health part of this, think of this. There's something going on with our children in this generation like never before, at least that I've never seen before. 1/3 of all teenage girls in 2021 thought about committing suicide. 1/3, right? We have a mental health crisis in America that we are going to have to deal with. And, I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to psychologists. I've talked to teachers. I've said, man, help me understand what can we do as a country to do this? And I get a little bit of a different answer everywhere. But what I do know is we're going to send the NIH to actually find it. One of the things that we haven't done is look at social media combined with other things. And if you look at the pressures that are on these young girls, can you imagine 1/3? I mean, and we don't talk about it, right? And it kind of spills over into other problems, as you can imagine. So if you think about our kids can't read in school, they're under this immense pressure, which is creating some mental health distress in this generation. And oh, by the way, we have somebody standing nearby pushing an opioid. Now you can kind of see how this is all feeding together. And so we're going to have the courage as a country to stand up and start talking about it. Candidly, all of this notion that drugs are okay and it's okay to use them, and that marijuana today is 12% to 14% THC. Back in the 60s it was 5, right? That difference of THC content makes a difference, and the pushers are using that to get at our kids. And so we just need to step back and say, okay, let's have an honest conversation in America about what's happening. And if we do that, there is no problem in the world we can't solve. But what we haven't done in the last decade or so is have this honest conversation about how we're going to have to deal with opioids. Again, tough on the distribution network, tough on the border side, and then we're going to have to start working on this notion of consumption and what's going on in the mental health with this generation of children like, again, I've never seen before. Thanks.
Thank you.